If you're a new woodworker, it's pretty much guaranteed that at some point you're gonna run into this situation where you have to put a straight edge on a board and it's too big to use with your miter gauge and you're kind of stuck as to what to do. Do you take out your circular saw, put on a guide and cut it that way? Let me show you a super simple jig that takes about 10 minutes to make. So in this case, I glued up several boards to make this panel. And even though it looks like these boards are perfectly aligned, it's not a perfectly straight edge. If I try to use my miter gauge, the board is just simply too big. I don't have enough reference. My miter gauge doesn't even fit into the board. So that's not really an option. So the jig that I use is basically this board with one runner on it that has a nice tight fit. And I have several holes drilled in here where I can attach these super simple clamps with a T-nut slot that is just recessed so it sits flush against the table. Now, when I first cut this, I just run it through the saw, and then that way I know that this edge is perfectly parallel with the blade. And to straighten this board, it's as simple as attaching this onto here. And you can see this is probably at the limit of where I would be able to cut it. Still have enough of the miter slot in there to give me a good cut, but I think if it was any further like out here, I probably wouldn't be able to use this sled to cut it. So what I do is I line my edge to the side, then I clamp this down here and I run it through the saw. So you can see here, I just have this edge sitting ever so slightly proud of the saw, and then I'm gonna line it up with my miter slot, keep it nice and stable as it gets started, and then just run it through the saw.